Going technology, we're talking about the best technology apps that you can use for your business. Have you ever thought of that? Wow. I think everyone thinks of that. It's just that we don't know which sometimes.
Yeah.
So let's hear it from the professional himself. He goes by the name of Maciek.
Top of the morning, Africa. It's your girl, Precious Nkando, and you are tuned into Africa's biggest and brightest breakfast show. This is Good Morning Africa. We're doing something totally different this morning. We have a perfect fusion of business and technology. We're talking choosing killer apps for your business. The question to be asked is, how do you actually identify which apps work for your business? Here to tell us more about this is none other than Maciek Graniki of Gijima Holdings. Welcome to Good Morning Africa.
Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome, thank you. So tell us, when you talk killer apps, what are we actually talking about?
We're talking about apps that make a difference, that are going to influence your bottom line, ideally, that they're going to empower and enable your staff or your customers. You know, it's a fine line between consumers and the public, and then of course internal, your own internal business processes and your own internal staff.
Okay. With that being said, how would you then say, what is the importance of apps in present day business?
I think they are key, honestly, and you can look at any aspects. As a marketing tool, they get the name out there. You know, cell phones, smartphones, tablets, these devices are the remote controls of our lives. People don't do anything without checking their Facebook status or Twitter.
It's like the first thing you do when you wake up.
It is.
What's going on in the world today?
That's the millennials. This new group of people that are coming into the workforce are exactly those. They're everywhere connected. They're always on. They do exactly that. Check their phone before they go to bed, and the first thing when they wake up. They know everything that's happened in the news, the media, from all these social networks. 100%. So they're vital. I think they truly are vital, and the applications are just there's hundreds, thousands of applications. You just need to find.
I like that you mentioned there's thousands of applications, because I'm curious. If I'm an entrepreneur, for argument's sake, and I'm presented with like a million options, how do you go about choosing the perfect application for your business? What do you need to consider?
For us, it's really, the key is identifying your business goals and your business needs. If your app has to underpin your key business objectives. So if it is to increase sales, for example, and the way to do that is to empower your sales staff with their latest collateral and their access to those documents and brochures, pamphlets, whatever, then the business app that makes sense is one that will empower them and enable them to have that content all the time, everywhere connected, and most importantly, updated, invisibly, online, offline capabilities. If you're a retailer, for example, maybe the app for you is one that can send advertising information, but specific to a person's needs. So if you know that this person is newly married, for example, by their sudden spending habits, which you do know, there's enough loyalty programs and things like that you can track these things, you can send them specific information around those specials and products. Or for me, a simple one is things that go together. Like if I'm buying peanut butter online, tell me that I didn't buy jam or syrup, because they two go together. So simple ideas. I mean, financial institutions, they are coming aboard quite strongly. I mean, the major banks have got fantastic apps that enable people to do things that they need to do. Check your balance, pay someone, and let's not discount but paying someone small amounts. F&B's app with the geofencing type stuff.
Yes.
If we go to lunch and one of my mates doesn't have money, it's not a big deal. It pays me without even knowing my banking details.
Yeah. That is super awesome. So my heart's racing and I'm getting worried. all this technology advancement, can technology truly replace human capacity? Because I'm thinking, am I going to lose my job? I mean, the bank is working itself without people like tellers behind doing all of this stuff. Should I be worried?
I don't think so. I like to believe that the human element is vital, and specifically in industries like the banking sector. If you replace, the human element there, you lose that personal touch, and I think that's most important sometimes. Anything can happen. You can need assistance. You can be in trouble.
Yes.
You cannot necessarily get assistance from a machine if it doesn't understand you and know you. So I think technology is there to help us, to assist us, to take some of the menial things away. But the end goal is to empower and enable people to do more and be more productive.
Absolutely.
And not to replace them.
So I'm not going to lose my job now. So with every bit of new technology that comes along, I think security is a big concern for everybody. How do you ensure for the end user that your apps are absolutely secure?
Well, there's different methods and methodologies around securing apps, and I think the key to understand the security around mobile applications is that the devices are secure, and the apps, especially business apps, they don't reside on the device. There's a portal, there's a user interface that resides on the device. The actual brains and the app is a web service. It sits in the environment behind the backends, in the security zone and the blocked off behind firewalls data centers of these corporations. So as long as you put basics in place on your phone, everyone should have a PIN code.
Yes.
As painful as it is, everybody should have a PIN code.
Have a little book and write them all down, because these days there are too many. It's hard to remember, and you can't exactly use one for all the apps.
No, you can't.
Interesting. So tell me, how then does Gijima fit in the puzzle? Do you then go door to door and advise businesses on how best they can select the apps that work for them? Do you actually help them identify?
We do a lot of offerings in the mobility space for businesses. We do strategy consulting, we do mobile device management and security, and we have our own dev house, in-house developers doing native and hybrid development. And we don't go knocking door to door. We have our list of customers as well as other customers that are referred, and we help them unlock their business goals using mobile applications. And because it's really all about increasing participation, engaging their staff, engaging their customers, and just getting more out of people and assisting them as much as possible to do more in a fun way, and in a non-cumbersome way. So a lot of the time, it's really taking a step back, looking at your business processes.
Yes.
Stopping those business processes that you're doing for the sake of these have been around forever, so we always do it like that. Mobility gives you the opportunity to refresh, to take a step back, to regroup almost, and to make it more exciting, more fresh.
Absolutely. Now, you said something really interesting here. You said that mobile strategy is not necessarily required when dealing with apps, but simply security, governance, risk, and compliance platforms that can be used to launch mobile initiatives. Just please do explain to us, how do you go about assessing this?
So what we're saying there is that unless you're a mobile operator or someone that sells mobile apps or mobile devices, the mobile strategy per se needs to be in line with your business strategy. It needs to be measurable, it needs to unlock value, and it needs to assist your bottom line. So we don't believe that businesses should build a mobile strategy that's separate suddenly because they want to build an app. It needs to make perfect sense and fall in line with their existing business strategies and goals. Added to that is that it's a very difficult and unforgiving territory. There are millions of consumer apps that are out there, and they're free and they're fantastic. And if you as a business decide that you want to develop apps, but you don't do that for a business, you have the opportunity to fail. And when you fail in mobility, it's very difficult to get that user back. Restore confidence.
Okay.
Restore confidence in your product or your app. For me, when I try an app, I'll download a couple. The ones I like, I keep. The ones I don't like, they're
Get rid
gone.
of.
And unless literally, someone down the line says to me, listen, have you tried this app? I'll say, yeah, I have.
I guess word of mouth really is the best. Hey, it's like, yeah, you need to try that out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Exactly.
So in closing, I'd like to ask you this. How does predictive analytics work in terms of obviously making sure that your implementation is effective?
So predictive analytics is, I think it's coming. You know,
Okay.
it relies on what's called big data, which is there's so much information out there that is being captured on these devices. If you take a step back, understand that your phone knows where you are, who you are, what time it is.
Quite scary, isn't it?
It is quite scary. So predictive analytics is all around kind of predicting your needs before you need them.
Think for me, phone. Think for me.
And for me, or identify my needs.
Yeah.
You know, I think be preemptive. So, and there's stepping stones to get there. The banking app, for example, if you regularly log in to check your balance, then that should be easily accessible for you as a user. If I regularly log in to purchase lotto tickets online, then that should be regularly accessible for me.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of the predictive analytics, or very light version of predictive analytics. I think it's going to evolve, and it's going to just make it better and easier for us. But companies need to embrace. They need to just start.
Move with the times.
Move with it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for chatting to us. For people that would like to know more about your apps and possibly get services from you, is there a website? How do we get a hold of you?
Yeah. So naturally, Gijima.com. My Twitter account, Maciek SA at Maciek SA, right? And then my email address, maciek.graniki@gijima.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You heard it for yourselves, Africa. Killer apps for your business. Go out there and identify which apps will help you triple your bottom line. From your girl Precious, it's ciao ciao for now.